Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when and where you're going to be watching this live stream or catching the hashtag replay of this live stream. I'm your host, Kevin Williams with Team Vision LLC, and welcome to Interview Me series. Interview Me is brought to you by Arkansas Black businesses, where they connect businesses to buyers and buyers to businesses. Today, we have in the virtual building a womanpreneur. Please welcome Noni Ervin with Kinara Park Kids. Noni, how are you today, my queen?
Hi, Kevin. I'm great. I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's my honor and pleasure for you to be on our Interview Me series. Noni, let's just get right to it. I love asking good questions. If you could, for the viewers that may or may not know, could you give them an explanation of Kinara Park Kids and where did the inspiration come from?
Well, sure. So, Kinara Park Kids came out of a couple of things. Most notably, being I was in the mall in a department store getting a T-shirt for my youngest son, and I looked over and saw this great shirt with a silhouette of kids on it. And when I got closer, I noticed that none of the silhouettes looked like my son. And none of the silhouettes look like my friends' daughters, because I only have boys. So to me, that bothered me because there were so many kids on the shirt. And I thought, well, how can that be in this day and age that they have all of these children and all children are not represented? So I was immediately bothered by that. And I left that store, and I have not been back in that department store since. At the same time, my husband and I were looking at, and our family, we were looking at Kwanzaa and how we can reincorporate that into our family and our culture and around the holidays. And, man, what if, it just kind of all clashed together. What if we just created what we wanted? We just, and each one of the kids was named after one of the principles of Kwanzaa, and they were all friends. And hey, they go to this park that's shaped like the continent of Africa, and they play these wonderful intellectual games. And so then we, then we created them. Everything about them is intentional. Their skin tone, their hair, the colors they're wearing, and so that's where Kinara Park Kids came from, and to incorporate the principles of Kwanzaa, every day.
So is Kinara Park Kids only for kids only, or is for various age groups?
That's a really good question. In Kinara Park Kids is for the entire family. Okay. We have both kids and for our stuff, we have adults. We have from infant sizes to 5X sizes, we have onesies. And so what I thought would happen is the adults would get the symbols, because those are the Adinkra symbols, which is East African, comes from original thought. And they would get those, and then the kids would get the actual pictures of the kids. And that's not what I found. Adults get everything, and the kids get everything, and they all love all of it. And to me, it's been the best part to see that they actually choose the Kinara Park Kid based on their principle, not on how they look, not on who they remind them of, but the principle. So if they want to feel like we're in purpose, they'll get the Nia, and a woman will get, well, I like Umoja, that's unity, and she'll get the Umoja hoodie. So it doesn't matter if it's a girl or a boy, and everybody wears everything. And so to me, that's actually the most fun to watch.
So Noni, tell us why Kwanzaa is so important to celebrate in our community and other races that celebrates it as well.
Well, I'm by no means an expert on Kwanzaa, but I've learned a lot by, going down this path. But Kwanzaa, the Kwanzaa holiday was created by Dr. Malanga Karenga in 1966. And the Ngozi Saba, which is the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, they are intended to inspire us during the Kwanzaa celebration and as a guide for African Americans and African American community to live by all year long. So it was not really intended to just be a one-time event. And it's intended to be how we interact with each other on a daily basis. And so our goal is to have that conversation during Kwanzaa, but outside of that week of Kwanzaa, every day of the year.
Okay, so is there any beef with Kwanzaa and Christmas? Like, oh, I celebrate Kwanzaa. Can I not celebrate Christmas, or can I celebrate Christmas? Let's talk about the beef between those two.
Okay, well, first of all, you can celebrate whatever you want. Nobody should be judging you. And if they do, well, anyway, I think that's probably a little bit of why Kwanzaa is it's kind of well known in some areas, but really not mainstream, because people think that it competes with Kwanzaa, with Christmas. And Kwanzaa is a cultural holiday. It's not a religious holiday. So that being the first thing. And, it really, you're comfortable as you're exposed to it and the principles. And because the words are Swahili, I think it's awkward for some people. So we wanted, and it had one little girl, she was wearing a Kuumba t-shirt and the joggers with the symbols down the side. And her teacher says, "Oh, young lady, what are you wearing?" She says, "Well, this is Kuumba. And this is creativity." And she went through the whole spiel, and she told the teacher that we are normalizing Kwanzaa in everyday life. And I thought, we couldn't say it better than coming out of the mouth of that child, which is they want images that are positive for them. And we want them to be comfortable in their culture and in their heritage. And there's no competition with Christmas. There's no, because it's very different. And, you can celebrate both or celebrate one or the other. It doesn't matter. But it really has to do with the exposure to Kwanzaa and being comfortable with it and talking about it more than just that week between Christmas and New Year's.
So, Noni, because of what's happening right now in our country, how important is it more than ever to really start digging into what it is that we're talking about today, and embrace this, like you said, not just during the month of December, but like really embracing this culture on a daily basis, based on what's happening in our world today? How important?
Well, I would say on a regular day, it's important, but even now, it's even more important that we control whatever is within our control to manage, and that is our own dollars, that is our own decisions, and that is our immediate family and our immediate person. So I get overwhelmed sometime on a personal note, trying to figure out how to solve the problems of the world. And then I realize that I can care about all those things, but I can really only impact the things that I can impact. And so I'm going to be intentional about that. I am going to spend my dollars with Black-owned businesses anytime I get a chance, and I will even go out of my way to do so. I will give my brother, my sister the benefit of the doubt. I will always go to patron them first. We have so much wealth within our community that we only need to just trust for a moment and spend our dollars with each other and keep those dollars in the community so that the community can grow. That is the whole point. That's Ujamaa, which we'll get into, right? That's cooperative economics. None of this is new. We are literally having the same conversations that were had 50 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago. And the reality is, I think we're at a point where it's not being sick and tired, it's being sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? Like we're at that point. So now we as a community have to just mobilize and take care of the things that are important to us. And we don't need a one person to lead us or this person to lead us. We need to just, hey, family, let's just get this done. It's really that simple. We have intelligent people among us, scientists, financial intelligence, what all of the sciences, technology, engineering. We should be working on infrastructure and community development and building our own businesses and capital improvement. But that has to be something that we can control ourselves. And we can't have those conversations without an economic base. And we can't have those conversations without being intentional about where we put our dollars. And for this business in particular, I tell my two sons all the time, my husband and I, our 12-year-old and our 17-year-old now, we are building this and we expect you to go farther than we went. And then we want our grandchildren, we want everyone is responsible to do better for the next generation and for 100 generations, right? And like I said, we can only control the things that we literally personally can control. And so let's be intentional about those things. Don't get to me, I'm passionate about our community. I've worked very hard my whole life to take care of and do well by myself and by others and by my children. And listening, I can hear my grandmother in the, I can feel my grandmother, like she worked hard, both of my grandmothers, but I have one grandmother who was, she had the city, she got the key to the city and where she lived, and she was very active. And to me, I would not be doing right by her if I did not go all out to make sure that I had my family in a better position and her great grandchildren in a better position, and on and so forth and so on. So, it's important, and it's not just about us. So,
Noni, let me just be the first to say that I can't wait to order my shirt from you. So my dollars are coming to you, and it's really this is really an exciting time because every day that I'm on different platforms, I see people who look like us saying, find a Black-owned business and spend your dollars with them. The other thing that I love about your business is that you all exemplify excellent, excellent customer service. And I think that is so important for any business. Doesn't matter if it's a Black-owned business or what the case may be. The level of professionalism that you all exemplify with Kinara Park Kids is unprecedented. And so I wanted to make sure that that is understood.
thank
That
you.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I can ask all the questions, but it's nothing like making a direct statement based on what I have experienced. Um, this, talking with you, listening how you respond to the questions that I was, talking to you about even before this interview, and you handle yourself like a professional, and that's why. The mark of greatness is on your business. You have no idea the level of inventory that you guys are going to be moving in this business from just different things that are happening, but most importantly, just from the level of professionalism that you all exemplify with your business. So kudos to you guys.
Thank you.
Now, to my knowledge, uh, your father wrote a book about Kwanzaa. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
And one of your favorite parts of the book talks about celebrating Kwanzaa every day. So could you speak on that maybe, or explain how that is done?
Okay. Well, yes, my baba, which is means father. And he wrote a book called Celebrating Kwanzaa all year round or all year long. And I said, hey, Baba, let's do a rewrite. And at the time, so this is all while we're looking at, like I said, a few things kind of converged on how Kinara Park Kids came to be. And it was like, okay, well, let's just do this. And that basically the way you celebrate Kwanzaa year round is if the first day of Kwanzaa is on a Tuesday, then for the whole rest of the year, Tuesday is Umoja. And then the next day is Kujichagulia. And it's just a daily, you can go through the whole ceremony if you'd like to, or you can just know that you keep that in your mind. Today I'm mindful of unity and working together. Today I'm mindful of self-determination and what that means for me and my family and my community. It is a mindfulness and it is an activity in what you do every day. And to me, it's been really important and powerful. And that's how you basically do it until you get back around to the next Kwanzaa holiday, which is December 26th. And then you start over again. And just keep it simple. Yeah.
So what is what is your favorite principle?
My favorite principle, I thought this would change. I thought, well, maybe because so many other things are going on, it will change today or whatever. But my favorite principle continues to be Ujima, which is collective work and responsibility. For me, that means I'm responsible for my brothers and sisters. Their problems are not theirs alone. They're my problems too. And I'm responsible to help find a solution for them. But that's comforting to me because that means that my problems are not mine alone. My problems are your problems. Okay. My problems are my brothers and sisters' problems. So we're committed to each other to solve them together. We're capable of solving our own problems together. And so I think we just take that on together. To me, that's what Kinara Park Kids is. This is us trying to solve a problem. Okay. That's why we're here.
So now that we are more familiar with the brand, which is based on Kwanzaa, and the characters are named after each of the 7 principles, could you introduce or explain each of Kinara Park Kids, their names, what's the inspiration behind each one, and also the color representation?
Yes. So, okay. So everyone can see the logo a little bit behind us, right? That's what everyone can see. Okay. So I'll hold up, you can't really see them very well. So let me just talk about them. So Umoja, who's on the left to right, is that's unity, to strive for and to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. So Umoja is an athlete. Okay, he's in gray. That's representative of all colors. When I think of him, I think of the Olympics. Usually that's the only time when we can kind of focus and it's us against them is what it is. Okay, it's really the only time we can kind of lay everything down and be focused and unified is during the Olympics. And Umoja is serious about unity. Someone told me, he needs to have a smile. I'm like, no, he's good. Sometimes he's misunderstood, but he's serious about bringing his friends together, being in harmony and being together. A lot of times when they're at Kinara Park, they'll go do their own thing, but he kind of rallies them back together, brings them back together. That's he enjoys when they're in that space, working together and in harmony. So that's Umoja. Next is KG or Kujichagulia. That means that self-determination to define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. Okay, so she's the only one with a nickname. And that's because sometimes it's hard to say Kujichagulia for the little ones. But if my friend my dear friend, said, if you can say Kuji, Shaka Khan, and Aaliyah, then you should be able to say Kujichagulia. Okay. So come on, let's just practice. And then, you know, she's very clear on what she thinks and what she wants to say, how she wants to say it. Red represents her being strong in positive, powerful ways, right? She's strong-minded, she's strong-willed, but the positive parts of that, okay? And so that's KG, or Kujichagulia. And the next is Ujima. That's collective work and responsibility, okay? To build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems and to solve them together. And he's in aqua green. He's the first of the twins. So he's one of the twins. And he's about taking care and helping. So he's always concerned with how his friends are doing. If there's a problem, he wants to try and help them find a solution to that. And his friends know that they can go to him when they are having a problem and try to find that solution. So that's Ujima. Ujamaa is cooperative economics, to build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses and to profit from them together, right? Like spend the dollars with each other, people, right? So he's the second of the twins, and he's in money green because he's about cooperative economics, right? And because the two of them, Ujima and Ujamaa, I always hear them getting mixed up. I will be at a Kwanzaa celebration and they will mix the names up. And to me, that reminds me of twins. Until you know them enough to make the distinction, right? That means you have to spend time with them. Then they get a little confusing. So he's in money green. He's always looking for ways to improve the games they play. He's the fundraising friend you want. You know, he's always, you know, about business, how they can be profitable, how they can accomplish their goals. This is Ujima or Ujamaa. Okay. Next is Nia. She's in all blue. Nia means purpose, to make our collective vocation and building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. She's intentional. She's focused. She's like got her eye on the prize. This is Nia. Okay, don't mess with Nia. She's a force to be reckoned with. Okay, she's about her business. She's in all blue because blue represents the sky, being a visionary, thinking bigger than yourself. She's the dreamer among them, but she's very focused and she's on purpose. Okay, she's one that she learned very early on that if you imagine it with your mind, it can be. So she's about creating what she wants. Okay. Kuumba is in all orange, and you can't really see it because our little videos are blocking her, but when you go to our website, you can see it. But she's creativity, and she's about thinking outside of the box. She's our free spirit. On her shirt, she has little doilies that she made herself because that's her creative side, right? And she, you know, she's like a painter, graffiti, but you know, the creative expression, not the, you know, the good stuff. And but she makes everything that she's around more beautiful. Even when she goes to the park, Kinara Park, you know, you know, the things that they play, she's not so much involved in the games, but she loves like the leaves on the trees and the stuff that they have, making things more beautiful. Her world, everything she touches is more beautiful because she was there and was involved in that. So that's Kuumba. And then the last of the Kinara Park Kids is Imani. Imani means faith, to believe with all our hearts and in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. And she is, she's great, right? She's in all yellow, and that's for sunshine and hope, okay? Because faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, okay? And so anything you need at any given time, Imani probably has it. Now, you also cannot see that she's got a little purse. She's the only one with a little purse. And my my husband's friend has a little daughter, and he would tell us how she would go, whenever they would go out, they would say, "Oh man, I forgot my chapstick." She's like, "Oh, I have some," and she would pull it out. And "Oh, I forgot this. Oh, I have some." And she would pull out of her little purse. And they were like, "Wait a minute, how much do you have in that little purse?" And she, she's got anything in there. So Imani, she's got whatever you need. Her friends know if they need something, Imani's got it. So they have hope, and they have faith, and they have Imani. They have their friends. So Imani's also the only one in a skirt. And that's because she might have to go to church. So she's not in a full length skirt. And it's not a mini skirt. And I said, well, since we're doing Zoom church, she'll be fine anyway. But if she goes to real church, she could get into most denominations. Okay. She also, her skirt is pleated, which speaks to her own personal flair. And she's the only one that's kind of leaning, because that's just how Faith does. So, that's just Faith. So those are the Kinara Park kids, all 7 of them. And my husband had to tell me, look, you can't get so attached to the kids, because whenever we do vendor events, I'm like, but let me introduce you to all the kids. So you gotta just he had to corral me in. So I love the kids, the Kinara Park kids. They're all very special to me and what they mean. But most importantly, the look on people's faces when they interact with them and see them, and kids and adults alike, is really special.
Noni, I'm so excited to be ordering my shirt. I love, love the concept, the creativity, the just this everything, this spirit of these kids to educate, equip, empower, energize us comes from these kids. And so I can't wait to get my shirt. I can't wait to get my shirt. I'm super excited. And who knows? My wife knows me. When I fall in love with a shirt, sometimes that shirt finds itself on me 2 or 3 days out of the week. Now I do wash them. I do wash the shirts. Let's make that clear. I do wash the shirts. Um, what's your end of the year vision for Kinara Park Kids? Tell us about that.
Well, okay. So first of all, if you want us to stay connected to us, we want you to, text Kwanzaa, KWANZAA, to 425-406-3101, and we'll keep you in the loop. And so we have a couple things going on, and I'll try not to talk too fast, but we have our mini series that we just released. I'm so excited. The first set of books just went out. It's an 8-book mini series. It's one on the Kinara Park itself, and then one for each of the kids. And this way you get to know each of the kids. And the goal is to internalize the principles. And, our young people are exposed to so much so early and internalize so much. And we want to bombard them with positivity and, and change that whole game. We're currently, and I'm so excited, I'm gonna try not to just squeal here. We're so excited because we're working on developing social skills curriculum for K through 5. We have a pilot school. I could explode. I'm so excited because.
So Noni, wait a minute, hold on.
Wait, no.
No, since you have kind of released the cat out the bag. Talk about the target audience, because it sounds like Kinara Park Kids is not just for the community in general, but it can also be targeted to different school systems and other type of business platforms out there. So let's just share with the viewers, some of the platforms that you are, well, like you just said, you're going to be working on, and then who are some of the other platforms that you want to introduce Kinara Park Kids to?
Well, okay. So basically our target audience is first and foremost the African American community. Okay, because Kwanzaa is a cultural holiday. But this is, we have it is it has been a positive experience for other cultures as well that come and see us and they're like, wow, this is great. I have educators that come up when we do vendor events and they say, wow, what is this? And we didn't actually, I did not think at this time I would be working on a social skills curriculum, but I knew that we would have the mini series. And it just, we had a teacher say, you know what, I wanted to focus on the principles of Kwanzaa, one principle a month. And then I ran into your website and I love it. Can we do? And I said, absolutely. So we will always say yes until we prove that we can. Like, we know we can deliver on this. We have an educator consultant who's been in education for 30 years in one of the best in her field, who's kind of guiding this for us. But our challenge is staying true to the principles and not compromising the principles while we still translate it to an educational environment, right? A church and state, Imani means faith. So, we have to, we don't want to compromise the principles in any way or Kwanzaa in any way, but we still want to make sure that we can translate that into a mainstream product for a curriculum. This is social skills. This is unity and self-determination and how to work and take care of each other, purpose, and how to work together and how to be creative and how to have faith in one another. So these are things all translate very well. For us, the platforms, I don't know. We haven't been exposed to all the platforms that we can go into. We have looked at, you can consider it like the Ninja Turtles. We have the figurines that are being developed, the prototypes in progress. We have, I just think of like every moment for you to interact with the principles is what you see in a child's bedroom right now. You see the blankets that they sleep on. You see the toys that they play with. You see the clothing and the gear that they go to school in. You see their lunch boxes and their backpacks and I gotta feed them and I gotta clothe them. So they might as well be wearing Kinara Park Kids gear, period. The mini series is, I imagine you pick your book. Oh, today I'm wearing blue, so I'm gonna go with my Nia book today. It's just that cool. It's so cool. These are perfect for little hands. And as they get to know each of the kids, they know them based on how they interact with the world. And so at no time are they hearing Kwanzaa, Kwanzaa, Kwanzaa. They're learning about the principle of Kwanzaa. So when Kwanzaa comes around, oh, Nia, I already know what that is. Oh, Ujima, I already know what that is. That's just like, that's easy. And for these kids who know what 3 stripes mean, right? That is Adidas. A swoosh is, they know that's Nike. Then they certainly can learn the symbols for collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, and self-determination, etc. So.
Okay. I want to close out with a two-part question. My first question is, how has COVID-19 affected your business? And then the second question that you answer, and that's what we'll close out with, is you mentioned about your 2 boys. What role do they play in the business?
All right. So first question, COVID-19 has affected our business by, well, one, we were supposed to be down in Atlanta for Juneteenth in a couple of weeks. And because of the health concerns, that's all been postponed. We are e-commerce, so I don't need to carry any inventory because I can ship all over the world. But I still need for people to be able to see and touch the product and know that this is a great product and see the graphics and feel the material and see what kind of quality it is. So that's what we miss out on. But in spite of that, we've done some some campaigns to honor our healthcare workers, our 2020 graduates, and our K-12 educators who are like involved in eSchool now, where we've kind of engaged the community so they can nominate, you know, someone for these gift cards and done gift cards for them. We're also, we missed out on Festival Sanjata and Umoja Fest here in Seattle, which happens Seafair weekend. But, you know, we are actively engaged in the community and we are not going anywhere. So we want to just get our name out. And the role that my two sons play is that they are, you know, they're involved on the design side and on the product placement side. And you know, as children are, and I say, hey, this is your business. So you better speak up about something that you think we need to add or change or what you want to see, because this is about you. Okay. And you need to care about this like it's yours. Your name's on this. So I find that they've taken some ownership, and it's really neat to see, especially my 17-year-old, who I've had him with a contract negotiation, and he's handling it like a 17-year-old very well. But he's also done some of the design on the urban, on our urban culture page, which is some of the graphics that he's done himself personally. So to me, young people are have the ingenuity that we need. They are going to have to come up with the solutions that we're going to need in the future. And I say we foster that in them. We foster their gifts. And Kinara Park Kids will be a place where we, as we're profitable, we'll put that money back into these young people, and they come to us instead of going to the big banks. They come to us and say, hey, I want to start this business. And we say, okay, young person, I will invest in you. I know you. I know your parents. I know your grandma. I know, you know, I know your mom and your dad. Yes, I'm going to invest in you, but I'm also going to ensure your success by making sure you are successful and you stay in the community. We spend our dollars with you, and then the community is better for it. I could go on. Are we? Do we have to end now? Because don't get me started.
I love it. I love it. This has been another Interview Me series with Team Vision LLC, Kinara Park Kids, and the amazing CEO of Kinara Park Kids, Noni Ervin. Again, stay connected by texting the word Kwanzaa, that's KWANZAA, to 425-406-3101. Noni Ervin, you are simply amazing. I can't wait to receive my shirt. I hope, will I be the first person in Arkansas to get this shirt? Because if so, I may need to expedite it.
Maybe not. You might not be.
Okay. Well, but you know what? If not, if so, it doesn't matter, because we all are going to represent here in the state of Arkansas, Kinara Park Kids, and so that's an excitement. Also, when I get my shirt, you know, I'm gonna take a picture in it, tag your business. I'm gonna tag you. That is how we represent businesses. That is how we expose businesses, and that is how we salute businesses. So again, Noni Ervin, CEO of Kinara Park Kids, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.